Hello. Today we are going to be talking about the basics of financial aid in the FAFSA process. Your presenter today will be me, Ben Moore, and the other school counselor here at Milton-Union, Abby Kurtz.
Hello. So we're going to talk about some different types of aid that are available. That includes federal student aid from the federal government, state student aid within Ohio, and then institutional aid, which means aid from the specific college or trade school that you're looking at, and then scholarships from other sources as well.
So some questions and some things we're going to answer today are: what is financial aid? Who can get financial aid? How much can you get? How do you apply for financial aid? What happens next after you apply for financial aid? And where are some resources and some websites where you can get some more information?
So first off, what is financial aid? Financial aid is money to pay for college or a career school of your choice. This can come in the form of grants, work-study programs, loans, and scholarships. For more information about each of these types of financial aid, you can look at the website below.
So who can get federal student aid? Now, this is not a list of every single eligibility. There's more info at the bottom of the website to provide a more detailed list. But U.S. citizens or national or eligible non-citizens are eligible. High school diploma or equivalent, having an eligible degree certificate program in a college or career school like technical colleges or Sinclair Edison, students who have a valid social security number, any male who is registered for the selective service, and a satisfactory academic progress in a college or career school, such as some technical programs in schools.
So who can get other kinds of financial aid? States, colleges, and private schools all have their own eligibility criteria, so it's important to know the qualifications as you're looking at each of these options.
So a big question is, how much federal student aid can you get? In general, it depends on your financial needs. How that equation is actually determined is the financial needs are determined by the expected family contribution, or the EFC, and the cost of attendance of the college or university that you are thinking about attending. So your expected family contribution comes from what you report on FAFSA form. That usually comes from your taxes and other reports that you fill out when applying for the FAFSA. Your cost of attendance is made up through your tuition, other fees, your room and board, transportation, and basically your overall cost of college. So your cost of attendance minus what the FAFSA says your expended family contribution is going to be equals the financial needs that you might be eligible for.
All right, so how much student aid can I get? There are maximum amounts for some of these different major forms of financial aid, and those are listed below. So for example, for a Pell Grant, the maximum amount for the school year is $6,345. And then looking at some other options, work study kind of depends on the individual university or school you're looking at. And then the different types of loans also have max amounts. So it's important to consider that as you are looking at how much financial aid you could potentially get.
One thing that is a very useful tool is called FAFSA Forecaster. That is something that if you go to the FAFSA.gov link and find Thinking About College section at the lower right hand of the home page, it will actually help you estimate your financial information and get an estimate of how much FAFSA. So as you're looking at colleges and universities that you're thinking about, it gives you a little bit of an estimate of, is this something that FAFSA and the federal aid will cover a lot of that? Or is this a college where they might not cover enough? So before you go through the whole process, at least you can get an estimate and start having an idea about this process.
So how much state, school, and private scholarship money can I get? Again, this depends on the individual program. So it's important that you research exactly where that money is coming from and what the requirements and potential benefits are for each individual program. So the state of Ohio also lists some various forms of grants and scholarships, and these can be in all different categories, all the way from motorcyclist safety education to nursing. So there's lots of opportunities out there, and it's important to investigate each individual opportunity you have for scholarships.
So next we go to the process of how do you actually apply for FAFSA. The main website that you are going to go through is called FAFSA.gov. The state aid is below at ohiohighered.org. Or school aid, there are specific scholarships and local programs, and we'll be providing those to students and more information towards the spring. So there's also some scholarship programs that websites that can help you. One is called FastWeb. The other one is called Going Merry. These are great resources that actually match up your profile with some national scholarships that are available. So all of the things listed on this are just different opportunities to help get you aid or scholarships or some sort of programs that can help you pay for college more easily.
So how do I apply for federal student aid? So the first step you're going to want to complete is to create what they call the FSA ID, which is basically a profile to begin your FAFSA. So you can learn more about this at the link below. Both the student and parent must each complete their own FSA ID. You're not able to share one account. And you have to provide an email address when completing these. It has to be a unique email. So again, you both can't use the same family email for this. And also it's important that students don't use their school email because their FSA ID will follow them far beyond Milton-Union.
So one of the big things is before you start the process, it can be pretty overwhelming if you don't have all the documents that you need. So the big step is gathering all the documents that you need. There's a checklist of what is needed called the FAFSA process on the link below. There's also some FAFSA questions on the FAFSA on the web worksheet that will just help you kind of get prepared before you sit down and begin this process.
So the next step is to actually apply. You can apply now. It opened October 1st, and it is open for quite a while. However, some aspects of aid are considered first come, first serve. And to meet all the deadlines and to get the maximum amount of student aid, you're going to want to do that as soon as possible. You are going to need to use that FSA ID to start the application. And there are lots of options. Again, if you need any help, to contact the FAFSA office directly, that they're available for a live chat, and they can help you get everything you need to be able to complete that application.
Another big thing is make sure that when you sign up to use an email that you check and have access to, because you'll be getting responses by email or by mail confirming that your FAFSA form was processed. Double check that all of your info is correct by logging on the FAFSA site and reviewing your data. It's just very important that none of this data or none of this information is typed in incorrectly. So really double check and make sure that when you sign in and you actually go through and process that everything is correct for them.
And watch for emails and letters again from the schools that you're considering. A lot of times you will gain information through their financial aid office, and they will be in contact with you to discuss the financial aid that you've received.
This year, there's actually an alternate option to go through and sign up for the for FAFSA. It's called Sally Mae Embark, and so it's almost like a TurboTax, but for FAFSA. It's a lot more user friendly. It goes through and provides a guide and some access to more aid and more help as you go through that process. So if you've done FAFSA in the past and really haven't liked that process, this is an alternate option that will get you to the same process of applying for FAFSA, just through a more user-friendly process.
So what happens next? You will have the opportunity to evaluate school aid offers. It's important to consider both the cost of attendance and the aid you're being offered to figure out which out-of-pocket cost is going to make the most sense for your family. And once you decide which school to attend, keep in touch with their financial aid office to find out how you're actually receiving this aid, because every school has a different pathway to receiving the aid that you've qualified for.
So one of the things is getting more information. The government and a lot of websites have provided a ton of help with this because it is such a complicated process. So one of those is studentaid.gov. There's also information about aid programs and other free scholarships and college searches there. There's also the studentaid@ed.gov, which will provide programs about information about aid programs.
So some additional resources that are available to you guys to check out are just listed below, that you're free to click on the links and explore just some additional information that you guys can use, like the financial aid toolkit from the U.S. government, the student aid website also through the government, and then College Board also has just some additional information to hopefully answer some additional questions you guys might have and give you some guidance as you're completing FAFSA.
Thank you for coming. Our contact information is below. Thank you for watching the 2 videos. And Mrs. Kurtz's email and phone number there, and then mine are as well. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us as you complete this process. Thank you so much.